Hey there, YouTube, and it's time for some comic reviews. This time, actually, on something approaching on time, right? So, I didn't really buy that many books, so I only have 3 books to review. I did get some trades and shit. I got the Invincible Volume 10 trade paperback, which is called Who's the Boss, which, if you're into Invincible, pretty much brings you right up to date. There's only a couple of issues that, have come out that aren't included in this. And I also got the hardcover for Superman New Krypton Part 1. So that's pretty cool. I thought it was a pretty good deal for $25 because this is like really one of the coolest Superman stories in a while. So I got three new comics to review today. First we have Supergirl number 41. Now, this is the finale of the Who is Superwoman storyline. And at first, as I'm reading it, I'm like, what is this crap? You know, for the first 2 pages, because I just really wanted to get to the fight between Supergirl and Superwoman, who was revealed in last issue to be Major Lane. That's Lois Lane's sister. And there's a pretty intense fight scene that takes up just about the whole issue, but then it's interplayed with these other scenes with the supporting cast that kind of break it up so it's not too fast of a read. The major thing that happens at the end is Supergirl, kind of channeling her cousin, rips the S off of Superwoman's costume. Don't worry, ladies, she was wearing something underneath. And she seems to, like, turn into Plastic Man and lose cohesion, and then she, like, explodes, leaving Lois Lane's father looking really sad. So I don't know if she's dead or she's just, like, you know, discorporated. But in the end, Supergirl's like, holy shit, what did I just do? It's a fairly average issue, but I don't know. I would say I would sort of recommend it. It's not really the greatest way to end it, but what can I say? It also has this ad in the back, this preview of Detective Comics featuring Batwoman. And I don't know if it's the way the coloring is, or if they were going for this. Like, it's clear that they were going for red, black, and white. Well, mostly red and black, which is kind of the themes that were the red and black themes from Batman R.I.P. and such, but it makes Batwoman look like a vampire. I mean, she looks really, really pale, so I don't know what's up with that. Secondly, we have Invincible, issue 62. Now, before I talk too much about this, I want to talk about the letters page, because in the letters page, I'm going to read you the first thing that Robert Kirkman writes. From time to time I hear the complaint, it took me 5 minutes to read this issue. I'll admit this really bugs me because, well, it's kind of insulting to the artist. No matter how little dialogue there is in any given comic, if you're reading the thing properly, you shouldn't be able to simply look at the art and read nothing in 5 minutes. I mean, how would you even follow along? I think Kirkman is not really giving his fans a lot of credit, because, I mean, how long can you sit and look at the art? On a page like this, there's some dialogue here, but then most of this is just a fight scene. And what am I going to sit there and just like, okay, how could I not follow along? Conquest hits Invincible, and they knock into a building, and then the building collapses. I could look at that in the span of 3 seconds and understand it, and then look at it for like a little bit longer to appreciate the artwork, but then I want some dialogue. I did go through this really quickly, and I was like, what? It's over? Also in the letters page, he responds to letters about issue 60, the Invincible War issue, which were mostly negative, and he seems to be going rather defensive on that. Kirkman, all I gotta say to Robert Kirkman is that your readers are right. Issue 60 was awful, but the book is making up for it. This was a good issue, even though it was a really fast issue to read, but it was a really epic fight scene. It seems weird that Kirkman would say, one thing that people are wondering about with issue 60 is how did Adam Eve get injured? 1 minute she's there, and then the next minute Invincible's flying away with her, going, oh god, and she's unconscious, and then the next panel she's in the hospital. And you're like, how did she get injured? And he's like, oh, well, you don't really have to know, it's not that important. I was trying to tell a chaotic, warlike story and cut out all the repetitive, boring parts. So, I don't know, that's bad storytelling. I mean, she's fighting, then she's being flown away injured, and then she's in the hospital. Technically, that's a story, but it's the bare basis of a story. We deserve more detail. And to be honest, to say that, oh, yeah, I was just cutting out all the boring, repetitive parts, and then to do issue 62, which is from beginning to end, one long fight scene. I mean, how come you didn't cut out the boring, repetitive parts of this? Because it's not boring. It's actually exciting and fun. I mean, I don't know if Robert Kirkman's ever going to see this. I would love if he did, but imagine if the Doomsday story where Doomsday fought Superman, if it was like one page Doomsday appeared, the second page they were fighting, and then the third page Superman was dead. Oh, I cut out all the boring, repetitive parts. You can't say that and then do an issue that's a complete fight scene. Maybe he's trying to make up for it. I don't know. I did enjoy this issue. It was a quick read, but there's nothing wrong with it being a quick read if it's exciting, and it was. So I definitely recommend that. Lastly, I have Batman Battle for the Cowl number 3. This is the final issue. It does leave some questions unanswered as to who is the new Black Mask. Since this came out on last Wednesday and this is Monday, by the way, happy Memorial Day, I don't, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. Like, if you don't know who the new Batman and the new Robin is, mute the video right now, and when I give the finger, that's the signal that you could, no more spoilers. But, as you know, Dick Grayson becomes Batman at the end of this issue, and Damian Wayne becomes Robin at the end of the issue, which is something that I thought was pretty obvious. He defeats Jason Todd. Jason Todd supposedly falling to his death, but all he did was fall in some water, and he'll show up again. That's the same thing that happened to, like Hush disappeared like that. And, that's a cheap way to say, okay, he's gone for now. You also get, okay. So no more spoilers. Also, there's this part where Dick Grayson, Nightwing, when he's fighting Jason Todd, holds up this, like, Star Wars-style hologram thing of Batman. I thought that was pretty cool, of Bruce Wayne. This was a very exciting issue, and it doesn't, answer every single question, but, it does, it's exciting. And there's the first shot of the new Batman. I'm not saying I already said who it is, but if you muted it, then you don't know who it is. There's the first shot of him. I thought it was pretty cool. So I definitely would recommend that, but if, it's a big event book, so you probably already bought it. But my opinion of it is pretty good. I thought the art was a little weird because I think that Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Damian Wayne, and Tim Drake all tend to look like the same character. But what can you do? I guess they do all have similar designs. I just think that a little bit more differentiation would have been nice. I think Black Mask is going to turn out to be a really big villain for the new Batman. Well, anyway, that's the comic book reviews for this week. I'll see you guys next week.